Hi, I'm Mrs. Rodriguez, your math teacher for pre-algebra, and I made this video to review for the Chapter 5 quiz. These problems are from the practice quiz that can be found on page 242 of your textbook. Okay, I'm just going to do a few of the problems that are most closely related to the problems that you're going to see on your quiz. Okay, so I'm not going to go through every single one of them, so keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Share my screen with you. So once again, this is pre-algebra A for semester, chapter 5 quiz review, page 242 of the textbook. Okay. All right. So the first part of the chapter talks about perimeter. And so to find the perimeter of a rectangle, you can use the formula P equals 2L plus 2W. Basically, you're just adding all the sides. So we've got 2 L's, 2 length sides, and then 2 width sides. And you multiply 2 times W or 2 times L and then add it together. It could also be written like this, and you would apply the distributive property. And then also for the perimeter of a triangle, it would be A plus C plus C. Just add all the sides together. Okay. And then also you have to know about how to calculate the area of a rectangle, which is area equals length times width. And then area of a triangle, half of the base times the height, okay? All right, so let's look at some of these problems. First one, number one says to find the perimeter and area of each figure, okay? So perimeter, remember the formula was A plus B plus C. We'll call this A, we'll call this B, and we'll call this C. So this would be 3 plus 4 plus 5. So when you add all that together, you get 12 inches, okay? And then for area, that formula is half of the base times the height. So half of the base, which is 4, and then the height is going to be 3, okay? So if we take half of 4, that's 2. And then we multiply 2 times 3 is 6, and this is inches squared because we're talking about area, okay? So that would be your 2 final answers there, okay? All right, this one here says find the perimeter and the area of each figure. So it says here, find the base of a triangle if the height is 9.7 feet, 0.75 hundredths feet. So the height, remember, is where you have a right angle, and this would be 9 and 75 hundredths feet. And the area tells you the area is 58.5 square feet. So recall, formula for area of a triangle is half of the base times the height. So if we know that the area is 58.5, and we're taking half of, we don't know the base, but we know the height. So we keep our variable b, and then we can put the height here in parentheses, 9.75 feet or 7,500 feet. So at this point, what I would do is divide both sides by 9 and 75 hundredths. You could have taken half of 9 75 hundredths, but it's not going to be an even number, so I just figured this would be easier. And just by coincidence, when you divide 58.5 by 9 and 75 hundredths, it's exactly 6, okay? And then you still have to do half of b, so you're going to do the opposite. B is being multiplied by 1/2, so you are going to, is being, divided by 2, so you're going to be multiplying both sides by 2. So this would be 12 is equal to b, okay? So b is equal to 12 feet. Okay. All right. Number 4, the perimeter of the rectangle is 28 inches. So remember, you can use P is equal to 2L plus 2W. So and it says if the width is 5 inches, what is the length of the rectangle? So we know the perimeter is 28 and the width is 5. So we don't know L. So in place of the W, the width, we would put 5 because it told us that. in the problem. And so we have 28 equals 2L plus 2 times 5 is 10. So you would subtract 10 from both sides and you get 18 equals 2L, and then you would divide both sides by 2. And you would get 9 equals L, and these are integers. Okay? All right, moving right along. Where is my cursor? Okay, here we go. So now we're moving on to equations. I said to solve each equation and check your solution. So here what I would do, I don't like dealing with negative variables, so I'm going to add 2w to both sides, and I would get 5 equals 26 plus 3w, and then I can subtract 26 from both sides. 5 minus 26 is negative 21, and this 26 minus 26 is 0, and I still have 3w, so I would divide both sides by 3, and then negative 21 divided by 3 is negative 7, so negative 7 equals w. So the thing with equations, the nice thing is that you can double check your answer. If you're saying that w is equal to negative 7, then you can easily check that answer. Okay, so I was saying the nice thing about equations is that you can always double check your answer. So if you're saying that w is equal to negative 7, you could just rewrite this, the original equation, and everywhere you have w, you would put negative 7 in parentheses. So we have negative 2, and then you use order of operations to solve. So negative 2 times negative 2, that would be 14 plus 5, and then 26 plus negative 7, that would be positive 19, and then 14 plus 5 is 19, and 19 is equal to 19, so you know you have the correct solution. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's a short quiz, so you please take a couple extra minutes to check each one of your answers to ensure that you have the correct solution, okay? All right, let's look at one more for the equation. So here I would subtract 3x from both sides. I have 12x minus 3x, that's 9x. Bring down to minus 19, this is gone, plus 8. And then I would add 19 to both sides. This is gone, so we still have 9x equals 27. And then I would divide both sides by 9. So x is equal to 3. So again, I would check this. 12x is 3 minus 19 equals 3 times 3 plus 8. So use order of operations, multiply first. 12 times 3 is 36 minus 19. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 8. 36 minus 19 is 17, and 9 plus 8 is 17. So we know 100% that is the correct solution, okay? All right, and the last section that's going to be on the quiz is about inequalities. Okay, so you have to know what these symbols mean. This is the less than symbol, okay? It can also be read as is fewer than. Greater than is greater than, is more than, exceeds. Less than or equal to is no more than, is at most. You would use this symbol. This symbol is greater than or equal to, is no less than, or is at least, okay? So first couple problems you're going to be asked about inequalities. You're going to be asked to write an inequality for each sentence. So it says Toby wants to spend no more than 3 hours working on his model car. So we can use T for Toby. He doesn't want to spend any more than 3 hours, so no more than. So less than or equal to, because he's willing to spend 3 hours as long as it doesn't go over 3 hours. So it would be less than or equal to 3 for this sentence here. Okay, let's do one more. Jameson's new guitar will cost at least $450. So we have our variable G for guitar. We know it's going to be 450. Now it says at least, so it's going to be the lowest price is going to be $450. So it could be more than $450. So G is going to be greater than or equal to $450 because it's going to be at least $450, so it could be more as well. So the price of the guitar is greater than or equal to $450. Okay? And then here it says, which of the following represents the inequality -17/5 is less than or equal to y? So now, think about this. When you have your variable on your right side, you probably want to rewrite that so your variable is on the left side, because in that way, whichever way the arrow is pointing, that's going to be the direction of where you shade. Okay? So because this is the y is on this side, you would, when you rewrite it, you flip that inequality. So this becomes y is greater than or equal to -17/5. So now you can see that, okay, I must have a closed circle. Okay, so all of these are closed circles, and it's got to be at -17/5, which if you simplify that is, or rewrite it as a mixed number, it would be 3 2/5, and it's negative. Okay, -3 2/5. So here, it's trying to trick you with this 17 over here, so it's not going to be 17. This is at 3 2/5, but this is positive 3 2/5, so trying to trick you there. So here is -3 2/5, so that's good. And here is also -3 2/5. So now the question is it supposed to be shaded to the right or to the left? And this arrow over here, when we have our variable on the left side, the arrow is pointing to the right. So everything to the right is going to be shaded like here in H. Okay? All right. And this one here, it says, for the given value, state whether each inequality is true or false. Okay, so here it's giving you a possible solution. You have to decide, okay, when I plug that into my inequality, is it going to be a true or a false statement? Okay, so I'm rewriting this inequality, and instead of m, I'm putting 9 in parentheses. Okay, less than -40. All right, so then I have 3 times 9. Use order of operations, multiply first. That would be 27 minus 12. Everything else is coming straight down. So 27 minus 12 is going to be 15, less than -40. Now, is 15 less than -40? No, if we put that on a number line, here would be 15, and then way over here, here's 0, and then way over here would be -40. So 15 is not less than -40, so this would be false. Okay? If it was a true statement, then we would put true. Okay? All right, and then here is, it just says to graph the inequality. So once again, if it confuses you to have the variable on the right side, I would rewrite it with the variable on the left. Just remember when you do that to flip that inequality. Okay, so D is less than 8. So here's 0. Over here would be +8. Okay, and it's going to be an open circle because it's less than. It could not be equal to 8. Okay, and then everything to the left would be shaded in. Okay, and then over here, our variable f is already on the left side. So we're going to have f is less than 11. So here was 0, here is 11, and it's going to be an open circle because it has to be less than 11. It cannot be 11. And then the arrow is pointing to the left. So I'm going to shade everything to the left. Okay? All right. And that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you had any questions, hopefully I was able to clear some of those up. If not, please call, text, email, or stop by my office hours, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. And you have a great day.